Welcome back, guys, to Breaking on a Budget. This episode is going to be focused around this spy archetype. You know, so let's just get right into it then. Let's see here at the deck. So this is going to be your super budget version. Now, this is an archetype I'm not really too familiar with, so maybe some choices here are more like less of a budget than they should be. But according to my math too, this only has 150 ultra shards and 360 super shards, as I included some staples like your reinforcements of the armies and mods of reborns, and your free Ash Blossom. So the Spyral archetype is centered around, I guess the main purpose is to, you can look at your opponent's top of your top of the deck, and if they call it right, you can do an effect. Every monster has something different with it, but your main goal is to get out your double helix. Once double helix is out, for example, a double helix allows you to special summon other boys to the field and activate their effects too. So, why are certain cards in here? So I guess negates. I should go over the negates first, as always. Forbidden Chalice, a nice cheap option that's run in a lot of decks, so why not include it here as well. Next is your Ash Blossom and Joy Springs, one copy of that because you get it from your free packs. And I think that does it for the negates. I guess you're with the field spell, you just get, well, it's not a negate. So next up is, I guess, some utility cards. What are some good utility cards for this deck? Well, Magician Souls. And you're thinking, why Magician Souls? Well, Magician Souls allows you to put a spellcaster in the graveyard to draw 2 cards. And why do you want to do that? Well, like I said, you can, earlier, you can pull all these guys out from the graveyard, put them on the field, and some of them do have effects in the graveyard. So a good starting combo would be, let's say, Magician Souls, you special summon him, activate his effect, you can put your Spyral Master Plan into the graveyard, and activate the effect and stuff like that. Other cheap options, I double summon, because this card, it's good for this style of deck to kind of get a lot of monsters out in the field because their effects are really good and can be really helpful as well. I did include one copy of Resort Staff, so if they have a really big, strong monster, you can summon this out to make that attacking monster 0 HP, which can be very good. Foolish Burial of the Grave. Like I said, a lot of these spell and trap cards have a use in the graveyard as well. So that's why you want them in here. Next would be your Quick Fix. So you can just add a Spyral Gear card, which would be like here. It would basically be your car. I'm pretty sure. I think, yeah, it's just your car for right here. But, everything has a good use. And I try to make it as much as possible, but you do need 3 copies of Super Agent as a minimum. And one could argue 3 copies of Magician Souls, but for the extra budget, I just decided to go with one of. And I did, to make the deck 40, I did include some cards that maybe aren't too good, as 2 or 3 copies of. Like your Last Resort, you only want a copy of as well. You don't want a Misty in here. It's nice draw potential though to have, so one could argue. But the main focus is going to be more about the budget version of the deck. Now this budget version is, let's see, pull up my notes real quick. It has 180 shards, so 30 more shards as before. And you have 428 super rare shards, which is, let's see, 80. Oh, 80, right? So if 80, yeah, 80 more super rare shards than before. I added in, 3 copies of Magician Souls. I still kept a lot of the monsters the same. I did add in a copy of 1-for-1 though, so you can kind of put stuff in the graveyard, and then you can summon something else out. I dropped some cards like Big Red out for 1-for-1. The monsters I think are pretty much the same. I kept them in except for here. Yeah, I added in these 2 copies and replaced it with Misty and the other one. Spells and traps are the same, except for I dropped 1 Assault to fit in 2 copies of Typhoon. Which, it's just a decent trap destroy as a trap. You can target 1 face-up trap in the field and destroy it. But, like, let's say, you don't have, like, any stuff set down. You can just pop this from your hand if they have 2 or more. It can be good. And for the extra deck, add another double helix, because that's just really good to have in this deck. Just having another double helix. Very good. A lot of decks run it run it with 1. I just do it at 2 for this, because I feel like it just help out a little bit more. If you're on a budget, that is. If you're not on a budget, you can always just run 1 of 2 because you'll have better options in the extra deck. Next is your Nightmare Phoenix. Because you just, Nightmare Phoenix works well. Again, you discard a card and you can target a trap card. Or a spell card, I should say. And the next is Barricade Borog Blocker. This is a good way for you to get out your Assault card into your hand. If you haven't drawn it yet. Because Assault's a good card to have out on the field. So this helps search for Assaultants out the deck. And, it's good to have to also put stuff in the graveyard too. So yeah, this deck so far, all it has been is just you want stuff in the graveyard, and then if you have stuff in the graveyard, you can summon out this dude by banishing him. And then you can destroy up to 2 cards. There's like a lot of things you can do. The monsters may not be strong, but they have a lot of good effects. And I think I did also increase the amount of traps. Yeah, of your rescue and your utility wires are at an extra copy because I didn't know what else to really fill up the deck with at this time. One could argue keeping the 1-and-1. Sorry, the 2 copies of Wire, 2 copies of Rescue for 2 more copies of Ash Blossom. I didn't have enough shards to craft 2 copies of Ash Blossom, so I'm just keeping it here. But you could also do that as well. I like keeping Rest and Rescue at 3, so you could also drop Rest and Rescue down to 2. Make it 3 here. Next is where we get into the Theorycraft section of the decks. This is going to be your non-big boy budget. Here, this deck will cost you 780 Ultra Rare Shards and 450 Super Rare Shards. That is if you don't already have some of these cards as well. If you, of course, the more cards you have, the cheaper it is. So here, like I said, I dropped the copy of Tough down to 2 for 2 copies of Ash Blossom. I added in a copy of Foolish Burial just to get more cards in the graveyard. I did add in a Terraforming as I didn't really know what else I wanted to add in. And this just helps you search for your field card. Next is your Infinite Imperience, which is just a really good card. And I just dropped out the 2... What do you call the 2 Typhoons for? But I just kept a copy of Utility Wire. I feel like the Utility Wire is a little bit better than Rescue, but I haven't had much playtime with the deck. Quickly, we'll just skim over the extra deck. Semi Great, just staple. Next would be your, let's see here. You have your Access Code Talker, Selene in here as well. You have your Firewall Dragons, your Bow of the Goddess as well. You also have your Codebreaker Virus in here with, where is it at? Your Codebreaker Virus Berserk as well. You know, but a lot of these cards are staples that you would find in every deck because they're just good link sums to link into if you need to. You know. You would go into like her, like this isn't so much of a combo and stuff like that. It's just stuff to have in here. So next, let's just get into some gameplay, shall we, folks? Get this done and over with. Duel. And disclaimer time, as always, I'm here just to kind of showcase the deck, not so much doing the combos and stuff like that for now. If you guys want to in the future, I can always make a different series on combos for the deck and explain it much deeper. Let me actually select the right deck though. I'll just do the budget version because I feel like the super budget you're kind of it's going to not be as good as the budget version because let's see, first or second. Oh, I'm just gonna go second because I have no idea what I'm doing with this deck. So I'm curious what he's running. All right, let's see here. All right, he has 5 cards in the extra deck, which makes me think he's not running Eldritch or anything that uses fusions or something. I mean, I have to have this on. Or else, because I was doing a practice game last night, just against AI, I had this turn to auto, and it wouldn't let me do a certain combo that should let me do. And he's not here currently, so he just set 1. All right, so I actually have Magician's Soul in hand. Okay. Let me pop Magician's Soul. Special summon this card. Now she's in the graveyard. I can put this card face up now. Activate his effect. You draw 2 cards. Ooh, I don't know what card I want. If you control target 1 face up monster you control. Put top of the deck. I don't know which one's worse to have. I'll just put both against both of them then. I draw 2 cards right here. Then I can activate this dude right here. Activate my quick fix. I'll just get my utility wire. Can I link into anything? No, I cannot. So how can I go into him? 2 Spyral monsters? Let's just do Monster Reborn or whatnot. This card is sent from the graveyard. You can add. Let's activate this effect. All right. And then I do my double helix. Activate my master plan. I want my secret agent. So my super agent. Ooh, and I get resort too. What's in the graveyard for me to activate? Quick fix? Or what does this do? Oh, neat. Oh, and I can do that. Okay, cool. I want another drone in my hand. Activate effect. I will declare a spell card. It's a trap card. So now I can do this. I declare it as a trap card. And I can add my master plan back to my hand. Activate this effect. I'm just at this point, I'm just trying to fill up my hand with stuff. And now I can attack. Oh, they're running the default deck. Alright. Yes. Return monsters to the deck. Let's just do Spyral Plan. So we know that's a trap card right there that they're about to draw. I always have a lot of time for that. I just realized I'm just like, this is a lot of stuff to do. I kind of do like these styles of decks though. Next, I think I might want to drone. Yeah, I might want to drone next turn. I mean, I could always use that, pop that, make them the top, so I know it's a monster, and then I can do stuff like that. No, it's just waiting on him at this point. Spyral tough. Let's see what he does. You can declare. Come on. Okay, you just did that. That's fine. I draw. Oh, I can do double summon this turn. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna do something spicy here, boys. I don't know what he can trigger. Because that's a trap card. I know that trap card doesn't do anything with here. Target one face-up monster controls. Like, this just going back to your deck, bud. Unless, does it make it immune? Yeah, so this could be, but yeah, so that's a monster card. Now I can do this, activate this dude's effect, go monster card, booyah, special summon this card, face up a position. Then I can do this, activate this card's effect. That's a monster card you have there, bud. And destroy it. Activate Assault now to draw a free card. Then I can special summon into another one. Easy. Victory. Alright. That's enough for this video, I feel like. Final thoughts on this deck. It's a very fun deck. Now may not be too good, but it's fun to just be like, I know what card you have in your top of your deck, so you can keep chaining all your effects, stuff like that. Now against a real deck, probably gonna struggle a lot more, but you do have ways of kind of helping negate that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please in the comments down below tell me what deck you want to see next time, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day or night.